Welcome to the Bushido gang. What's up, guys? It's Attack on Samurai, and welcome to week 7 of my draft league in my Discord, the Bushido gang draft league. So, I just want to say, first and foremost, thank you guys for checking out this league since it started. I'm surprised by the amount of views. The amount of views we got was actually pretty good, and everyone that's been playing has been really good. So I just want to say to all the players that made it and to all the players that didn't make it, you guys have put your heart and soul into this. Definitely I will be doing another season after the season ends. But before we actually get started though, with these games, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, join my Discord Bushido gang, and subscribe for some more content on the channel. Also follow me on my Pokeamino and check out my Smogon profile. All those links will be down in the description. I am currently I am less than 40 subs away from hitting 300. My initial goal by the end of the summer was to hit 300 before the summer ends. While summer is pretty much over at this point, I would still like to hit 300 subs as soon as possible. We're getting very, very close to that goal, so we really appreciate you guys helping me reach that. But anyways, so for week 7, we have the Wisconsin Weezings versus the Dubai Dragapults. So this is a well, it's not really that important of a match because the Dragapults are already qualified for the playoffs, while the Wisconsin Weezings are unfortunately out. But this will still be a pretty this will still be a pretty entertaining game, regardless. So in terms of matchup, Helmy has a pretty decent shot here. If he can break through, actually, his team can really break through Pex. He definitely has the tools to break through Pex, and I'm pretty sure DNNP has calculated that. But yeah, Helmy has a really good matchup here. If he can break through Pex, it's pretty much a wrap. The Sandcore is also really good for him as well. The Celebi could be interesting though, but I'm gonna assume that the Urshifu might be banded. If it's banded Shifu, it should be able to break through. Also, I literally just forgot that he's running the water one and not the dark one. So, so yeah, I think Rapid Strike Urshifu is gonna be pretty decent though. But definitely Drill and Tar together are gonna be a problem for DNNP. But if he can break through it, he might be able to break through it with Cobalion, depending on the investment of it. It could be an offensive Cobalion this week, judging by how it needs to really break through Tar and Drill to really get going. So if it is an offensive one, then that's gonna be I expect it. It could also be offensive Celebi too. Offensive Celebi is actually really good too. Actually, wait, I take that back. Helmy has a pretty tough time against that Celebi. Unless he could break through with Urshifu and can U-turn on it a couple times, he might be okay. But again, we'll just have to wait and see. The Claydol could be a rocking one. Could also be a trick one too. There's a couple options that Claydol has for DNNP. It could also just be a standard rocker, which that's cool, I guess. But yeah, the P2 shouldn't be too hard for Helmy to break through. Again, depending on how he really plays around it. But yeah, let's dive in. So, turn 1, the Weezings are going to lead with the Heliolisk, and DNNP is going to lead off with the Cobalion. So, the Drifblim comes in. Here comes the CC on the switch in. Okay, so he went for CC right off bat. Also, we do see the Heliolisk going for U-turn. So, either this is the same team that Helmy brought against me, or he actually did change some things. But U-turn Heliolisk is pretty interesting. I guess he didn't want to really risk going Volt Switch. Granted, DNNP doesn't have doesn't really have good Volt Switch answers. I guess besides Rotom Heat if he did bring it. But yeah, he could U-turn around though. He could U-turn a couple times. But yeah, that also threatens the Celebi as well. So that's pretty good for him. Bringing in this Drifblim is gonna be pretty cool. He's also lefties as well. Okay, so he's gonna sub with that. Interesting. He's gonna go. Oh, okay. So they're both gonna sub. All right, and he doesn't show an item, so he's not lefties. But he is gonna Shadow Ball though and break the sub. So sub's gonna get broken. He's gonna sub again, and he's gonna break that shot. He's gonna break that sub one more time. So the Cobalion is just getting its sub broken every time, but the Drifblim is going to break through, and that does a lot. Yo. That does a lot right there. Jeez. Goes for an Iron Head on the Helios switching, so nice play. He could Volt now and knock this out, or even just Thunderbolt here. Let's see what he does. Goes for the Thunderbolt. That doesn't do too much, as the P2 is going to be very bulky, but he's going to Yui out and bring in the Aromatisse to get some Wish going. But here comes the Teleport on the Cobalion. So the Dragapults are playing pretty aggressive. Here comes an Iron Head, and there goes Drifblim. So Drifblim's going to fall. Drifblim actually would have been pretty decent here, as it could have broken through the Celebi and also the Claydol. If this is the same set he ran against me last time with the Starfberry, then he could have broken through. Granted, it wouldn't have been like, it still would have been tough because he has to still break through the Pex as well, and same with the P2. But with Drifblim being gone, I mean, it's for naught. Like it's not for naught. He was able to at least chip down the Cobalion to half. But now it comes the Urshifu who could revenge kill this. Here comes the Pex on the Yui. Okay, so he's going to get chipped. Here comes the Drill now. So Drill's going to come in here and do some big damage, I'm pretty sure. Comes the Tar now. Okay. So Tar on the Scald. And it is a very bulky Tar. Is it AV Tar? It is AV Tar. So here comes the... Oh, wait, no, it's not. Here comes the Toxic, though. Okay, so Toxic on the Tar. Could be Rest Tar, actually. Rest Tar makes some sense. Here comes a Crunch. Crunch is a lot. Comes a knockoff, and the Tenga Berry is going to be removed. Okay, so I guess maybe he thought there would be some U-turning going on with between Silvally and I guess pretty much Silvally. So now that his Tenga Berry's gone, he can't take U-turn that well now, but he is still going to get some nice crunch damage off on that Pex. But Pex has been a threat throughout this whole draft. So here comes the Drill now, and Drill's going to come in on a Scald. Does it get burned? It does not get burned. So he could Earthquake here, but he chooses to go back into the Tar to get the sand back up. And in comes the Doll. So Doll's going to come in here on spin, or going to come in here and try and spin, or probably just Earth Power down. He could Earth Power here, but he is going to spin. And he's probably going to go for the Crunch. He does go for the Crunch. That does a lot. But now the Claydol can pretty much force an Earth Power here. So I'm pretty sure he's going to do that. Or he's going to press it. What? Oh, snap. So the press is going to come down. And here comes Urshifu again. And now he's going to let the Claydol drop. So there goes Doll. Now the thing that sucks is that Sand's gone, which means that Drill can't really take advantage of this that well. But here comes the List now on the Scald. So he's going to take that nice and powerful Scald right there. And get recovered off from that. Here comes the P2 again. On the U-turn, I guess. So here comes the Yui again. And Urshifu can put some pressure again. So let's see. Is he going to Yui again? He probably is. He's going to CC that time. Okay, so CC did a lot. Judging by that damage, that might be Banded. Might be Banded or Shifu now. So here comes the Lisk again. He's probably going to knock off. He Toxic. That was a really good play. So Toxic on the list is going to come through. And he hasn't revealed like any kind of recovery item. So here comes a Yui again. So Yui back on the Urshifu. So he's really trying to get that pressure going. But it's really hard to get that going with Lisk being Toxic, Tar being gone, and no rocks up. It's going to be hard for him to really like break through this Pex now. But let's see what he's going to try and do. He's going to Yui again and going to go into the Drill. So Drill's back in. And he could Earthquake here pretty freely. Or he could go for a Yui. He does Earthquake. Earthquake does not that much to the Celebi. So Celebi probably has some defense investment. Comes a Giga Drain. It doesn't do too much, but it's going to ship him a lot. Here comes an Iron Head. And the Celebi is just taking those hits so well. Here comes the Aromatisse now on the Giga. Giga does a lot. If this is like a Calm Mind Aromatisse, this could be pretty threatening. But he's going to be nasty plot. So he's going to Wish. Okay, so he's just going to be a Wish passing one. And that still does a lot of damage as well. So he's going to Toxic there. So that's going to force out the Celebi. And also the Aromatisse is going to get his health back to full now. So let's see what goes on now. He's going to go for another one. So now he's +5 or +4. Here comes a Wish again. But this next Giga Drain is going to do too much damage. Never mind, he's going +6. Here comes a Moonblast. He's going to get a drop right there. Or a crit right there. And there goes the Celebi even further down. Here comes the Protect right now on the Giga. Yeah, this +6 Celebi's gonna just nuke this thing. So he's just gonna recover though. He's gonna get that wish off one more time, and he can protect here again, or he can Moonblast on the recovery. Let's see what he does. He does Moonblast. Yo, okay, Helby, okay. So the Celebi's getting worn down even further, and now he's forced to go into this and bring in the Pex on Moonblast. So the Dragon Pulse are gonna save this Celebi in the back, which can still be a very, very big threat to him. But yes, with the Celebi getting worn down a lot faster, he might have a better shot at dealing with all three of these mons right here. With the Celebi being so weakened, and same with the Silvally as well. But yeah, what he's gonna do now is go into the Lisk on the knockoff. That was a really good knock there. He's gonna knock off the AV. Okay, so AV Lisk. Gonna Yui there. Gonna bring the Aromatisse back in. So it's not a heal belling kind of Aromatisse. So he's gonna get Toxic there. And here comes the Wish again. So it's looking pretty bleak right now for Helmy, since he doesn't really have, much in terms of like recovery. But he is going to get his Wish off though on the switch into Lisk. Here comes the Yui again. So he's just trying to chip down as much as possible. And comes the Urshifu. And now he can freely CC. Well, not really, because the Pex is going to come back in again. So he's going to do it again. There's a lot, but at this point, like I said, it's really hard for him to break through this. So he has to go back into the Lisk on the knock. So DNNP is always just going to be knocking here. Like, he has no reason to not click knock. So here comes the P2 again on Thunderbolt, but P2 is just eating every single hit. So yeah, it's really not looking too good for Helmy. Like, this core just kind of bodies him, to be honest. It's really hard for him to break through this. He's going to go for the Moonblast again, or just taunting again. So he wants to keep the Celebi low, but the Celebi's pretty much like back to full now at this point. He can just switch again and then go back in the pack. So yeah, it's not looking that great right now. He can still keep switching, but like, it's going to be very hard to just try to get some kind of momentum going, because these three together just don't do enough. Thunderbolt is going to do a chunk to that Pex though. So that's going to force out the Pex, and that will force him to go into either Celebi or go into P2, but he's not going to let him get Yui'd. He's not going to let the P2 get Yui'd, or the Celebi get Yui'd. He's going to go back into the P2. He's going to bring in the Urshifu. Here comes the CC again. He's going to Yui again, so he's going to try and get that double off. And then comes the Drill. So Drill can come in here now, and it can go for some Earthquake, or it could go for an Iron Hit, which he chooses to go for. So Iron is going to do a lot to the Celebi, but not enough. And comes the Aromatisse again on the recovery. Yeah, it's really it's kind of an uphill battle, but like, he really can't get much out of this, unfortunately. Like, the power of these three is just so, like, it's such a problem. Psychic is going to do a chunk to the Aromatisse, and it's pretty much going to just, like, live barely after that. So he has to protect right here on the Giga Drain. So here comes that. But this Aromatisse is just getting, like, chunked, like, every single time. So I think at this point, it's looking like this is going to be DNNP's game. So yeah, he could Yui here, which he chooses to go for, but the packs will always come in on the Yui. So yep, in comes the Drill now. At least the Celebi is like weakened enough, but it's still not enough. The Celebi is just gonna take every hit. Like, it's just gonna take every single hit. So yeah, this is a really tough one for the for them to swallow here. But he's gonna get the spin off to try and get the speed boost there. So he could try and flinch this down if he gets the flinches. He got one. Okay, so let's see if he gets another one. Does he get another one? Nope. Yeah, this game's looking over for the Wisconsin Wheezing. So he's gonna Yui here though, I guess, or just go for a CC again. Gonna Yui again and back into the healer list. So he's gonna try and Thunderbolt again, but Thunderbolt at most it's 66%. So he could just go back into the P2 and just recover that off. Yes, he could Yui again though. Again, he's gonna try and get that Yui, try and just Yui down as much as possible. But like, it's a really tough game, man. Very, very tough. But at this point, I think Helmy is just like conceding defeat at this point, because he goes for the Thunderbolt. It does a lot, but it's not enough, because the P2 could come back in again. He could Yui again, but like, it's not even worth it. It's not even worth it at this point, because now he gets walled by the Pex since the Lisk is dead, and that is going to be the game. He does get a crit though, so he could still. Well, no, it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough anyway. So yeah, that's gonna be the game. Unfortunately, like, it really sucks that they had to come down to this, but So I thought he might have had the matchup here, but it didn't really look like it from this perspective. I mean, maybe if Helmy had got down to Starfberry range, he might have been able to break through, maybe. But yeah, this is just a tough game, honestly. Again, the combination of P2, Pex, and Celebi was just way too strong. So yeah. So yeah, I think this is pretty much gonna be a wrap. So next turn, yeah, and that's gonna be that. So he actually knocked off the CB there at the last second, but yeah. So that is going to be that's going to be one of the matches for week 7. So DNNP, captain of the Dubai Dragapults, is going to win his match for week 7, and the Wisconsin Weezings do lose their match for this week. Unfortunately, they did not qualify for the playoffs, but they still gave it a really good shot in the beginning of the season. So overall, I would say that they did pretty alright. So let's move on to the next game. So the next game we got, this game, I heard these two were talking in the chat about like how good the game was, so I'm already excited. like the moment they were talking about, they're just like, yo, that was a really tough game, and I was just like, ooh, I can't wait to watch this. So we have the New Mexico Ludicolos versus the versus the Pennsylvania Phantoms. So Ed's matchup looks pretty tough, honestly. The Volcarona could just destroy him. But if he has ways to deal with Volk, then he'll be fine. Same with the Kyurem. The Kyurem's actually very strong too. He's gonna have a really tough time here. Now in terms of like where they both are for playoff position, I think they're both even at this point, if I remember correctly. They should both be even. Yeah, they're both even. So whoever gets this game is going to playoffs. So this is going to be an interesting one. I'm pretty excited about this one. Now in terms of what Gallade, aka Helga, has to watch out for, he has to watch out for the Virizion could be a problem. The Virizion could be a problem if he doesn't get rid of it. Yeah, if he doesn't get rid of the Virizion, then he could definitely be in some trouble. Same with the Heracross too. Heracross plus Virizion could be pretty threatening. But let's see. Or yeah, they're both pretty threatening to him. And if the Como is some kind of like setup one, then that could also be pretty threatening. Honestly, I could see it because the Palisade seems to be like is probably gonna be the rocker for the squad. And then this might just be the setup mon. So if the Como's gonna be set up, he's gotta be very aware of that. He's got to be very, very aware of that. The Como could definitely just like threaten him right off bat. So if it is the Clangorous Soul Blaze or whatever it is, if it's Clangorous Soul, then it could definitely mess up this squad here. But the Phantom should have a way to counter it. The Rotom is also interesting too, especially since he has really no resistance to it. Thunderbolt could definitely like do some damage as well. The Basculin, I have no idea what that's gonna do. But I guess it could jet the Volk. It could probably be like a good late game cleaner. Once everything's like weakened, so I could see that happening, especially if it's like a banded one. So yeah. Also, the Heracross could be like. It could be a setup one too. Maybe like it could be Choice Scarf as well. Choice Scarf would be pretty good here too. But if he's like a spiking one, then I could see that as well. Spikes are actually very strong here. But if he's like banded or something, or just Choice Scarf, then that also makes sense as well. So I'm done talking about this game. I just think that this is going to be a very interesting game here. So I'm pretty excited about it. So let's dive in. All right. So turn 1. The Ludicolours are going to lead off with the Heracross. Here comes a Bullet Seed on the Azumarill. What? What? Oh my. And he gets all 5 hits? Oh, that Heracross is dead. Okay, so Cross being gone kind of sucks. But the fact he was able to chip that Azumarill so much is so good. Because now because now that get well, I mean, Virizion always threatened it, but this gives him more freeway with the Como, so that's very very good. He was able to chip that off like so easily. And this must be like a max HP Azumarill as well. The fact that it was able to take Seed Bomb, I mean not Seed Bomb, it was able to take the ability so well from the Heracross. So far the Phantoms are in the are in a good or not in a good position, but they're in a pretty like risky position here. So let's see what happens. So here comes the Rotom. So Rotom could just Bolt here, as he's gonna go into the Vikavolt to eat. He's gonna nasty plot on the Volt switch, on the Vika switch, and here comes the Blizzard, and that died. Oh my god, that Vikavolt dropped like a hot cake, bro. Oh snap. Okay, so with that dropping, this is actually really good. Because now Rotom is a huge threat. Honestly, Rotom didn't have any like good answers. I mean, didn't have any like good well, I mean, he has the Volk. The Volk could just like hit this thing right now, which he probably will do. So he does go Volk, and here comes a QD. What? QD on Bolt? Okay. So he's gonna be able to force that out, and now in comes the Como on the Flamethrower. Flamethrower is gonna do a lot, but he's actually lefties on this. Okay, is he gonna be Clangorous Soul? Let's see. No, he's not. He's Rock Slide, and he seems to be defensive. The fact he was able to take the Rock Slide like that. So, his way of breaking through Kyurem is kind of like gone now, because, well, I mean, well, no, not really. It all depends on if this is like a choice, banded one. If it's like choice band Virizion, then maybe it can still do it. Also, I don't know about the Basculin either. I don't know if it's like I don't think Bastion gets any fighting move, and even if it does, I don't think it's going to be able to kill the Kyurem without any chip. So, with the Mandibuzz coming in here, what's he going to do? What's going to be their play? They're going to go for a Toxic. Okay, so the Ludicolo go for a Toxic, and so do the Phantoms. So, they're both Toxic now. Now what comes out? The Rotom. Okay, so Rotom comes out on the Brave Bird. Okay, so Brave Bird's coming right there, but the Mandy is getting weakened. So now what comes out? The Kyurem comes out. Okay, so Kyurem comes in on a Blizzard. So Blizzard's gonna chunk that thing. So that's really good. And here comes a Draco, and there goes the Rotom. So Rotom's gonna drop there. And now comes the Virizion. So Virizion coming in here is actually pretty good. Because for one, Azumarill is dead. This is pretty much dead now, unless he's like a Choice Scarf one. But even so, it's not gonna be able to do enough to the Virizion anyway. So he's forced to go into the Mandy, or even go into Volk and try and get a burn on CC. So let's see what he does. He goes into the Pinsir instead on the Calm Mind. So he's actually Calm Mind Virizion. Okay, so how is he gonna be? Unless this is like a mixed Virizion, I don't see how he really breaks through the Mandibuzz. Well, no, he can break through it. He can still break through it. Focus Blast can still do a lot to that. But if he gets tossed, he has a really tough time against the Volk and the Kyurem afterwards. But let's see what he does. Okay, so in comes the Mandy now on the Air Slash. Okay, so it's an Air Slash Virizion. So Air Slash to deal with Pinsir and also to deal with Volk. Okay, that makes sense. Goes for an Edge, so he's actually mixed. And here comes the Brave Bird, and that's gonna knock him out. Oh snap! Okay, this is looking pretty scary. Okay, so right now the Phantoms are leading at this point. Since the Virizion's down, the Rotom is down, which was actually a huge mon here. So with that being gone, and same with the Heracross, this is actually going to be a pretty uphill game now. But at the same time, it's looking like it's already in the Phantom's favor, since Kyurem outspeeds everything. Since Kyurem outspeeds everything at this point. But if this Basculin is choice banded and goes for a superpower and kills off the Kyurem, oh my goodness, it's gonna go crazy. Here comes the Palisand on ice on the Kyurem. So let's see what happens here. Here comes a Freeze Dry. He didn't go for Ice Beam, which is interesting. Here comes a Shadow Ball. It does a lot, but not enough. So now what he could do is just sack this. So he does choose to sack the Palisand. And now in comes the Bask. So what's Bask gonna do? Here comes the Pinsir on the Double Edge. So he is banded. Okay, got you. That's gonna kill now with Jet, or he just does it again. Okay, so this Bastion's going off. Unfortunately, the Bask does not outspeed the Volk, but it definitely outspeeds the Kyurem, unless he's like timid Kyurem. Or no, even if he is timid, he outspeeds anyway, since Bask has a really good speed tier. Since it can outspeed the Kyurem, but it does not outspeed that. Now if the Volk has like Psychic, then I think Como dies afterwards. Let's see what happens. So in comes the Azumarill. So he's gonna sack it right here. So there goes the Azumarill. So yo, this Basculin is doing some damage. What the hell? Here comes the Volk. Okay, so he's gonna go into the Como now on the Bug Buzz. Okay, and he's soundproof. What? That's cool. I think this is over now. Because unless, actually, he might just be like fully Spadef. If this is like a fully Spadef Como, then I think he's good. Cause Psychic won't do enough. Let's see, he's going to roost here on the Rock Slide. Okay, so he's going to try and risk it, but it did not go in his favor. So the Kyurem can just revenge kill this in Ice Beam, but this is about to go nuts and just kill him off with the Double Edge. So there comes the Freeze Ride, there goes the Como, and now it's coming down to the 1v1. What happens here? A Double Edge comes down and knocks out that Kyurem, and that is going to be a GG for the... for the New Mexico Ludicolo's. So this was a pretty intense game, very intense game. Did not expect the Azumarill to be like a fully defensive Azumarill, and that Vikavolt dropped to Blizzard like just so fast. It was just like that. But yo, the Rotom definitely could have been a lot more effective here. Like Thunderbolt would have just chunked everything. Like Thunderbolt beat that, or I mean Blizzard beat that. Thunderbolt. Well, it took the Thunderbolt. Blizzard did a ton as well. Like, this was a very good game here. I like this game a lot. This might have been one of my favorite games of the season, honestly. Like, this game was very cool. So, honestly, like, good effort to both players, but definitely, Ed, captain of the New Mexico Ludicolo's, is going to take this one. So, now he qualifies for the playoffs, and unfortunately, Gallade is out of playoffs. So yeah, that covers that. Now before I move on to my last game, I do want to say that the match with King Eevee, captain of the Farmington for Alligators, and Bible, captain of the Fire Nation, that match did not happen. I did not hear from Bible at all, so I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on, but he has not been active since the week before. So I'm not too sure what's going on, but I hope everything's okay with him. But as of that moment, I do believe that he already qualified. No, he didn't qualify. So because of that, well, not because of that, but King Eevee is going to get the forfeit win, and he actually moves on to the playoffs. So that is interesting. I mean, well, not interesting, but like that pretty much just pretty much means he qualifies for the finals now. So an unfortunate way for this to end, though, or at least for Bible's like streak to end. But overall, like, I do hope that everything's okay with him, though. But yeah, this does put the for Alligators in the playoffs now. So for everyone that's already qualified for playoffs, now we have the Farmington for Alligators, myself already. We have the Dubai Dragapults, and now we have the New Mexico Ludicolo's. So without further ado, though, well, I mean, like I said, I already qualified for the playoffs, so it's kind of weird, actually. Like, if, like, for my match right here that I have with Eric, captain of the Sunset Septiles, if he wins this match, then he qualifies for the playoffs. But I don't think I really set it up properly to where, wait, no, I think I have. Like, if he does win, then it would be, well, no, it would just be 3 games, wouldn't it? It would still be 3 games. Or no, it would be 4 games, actually. Oh, sorry. It would be 4 games. But yeah, unfortunately, though, no, is it 4? No, it's already 4. What am I saying? It was already 4 in general. But yeah, again, if he does win this match, then he does qualify for the playoffs. So overall, let me talk about my matchup against him. Um, Now when I built this team, right, I built this team in like I probably want to say like an hour or so, probably like an hour. Um, but the thing about Eric's draft that I like a lot is that it has a lot of threats to me. It has a lot of threats to me. Um, like he has several, like he has ways to deal with my Rain and Gastrodon. He has Rillaboom as well. He has Clefable, which never dies. He's got Lax. He's got Darm. Like he has so many threats to my own draft that I really had to pay attention to what he could bring. So I kind of had to prepare for everything as best as possible. So basically, I got myself a mix Abomasnow, which can deal with the Rillaboom, and it could also deal with any kind of other like Mon that could be a problem. So again, like I said, I have a mixed one that has Weather Ball, Ice Shard, Giga Drain, and Wood Hammer. Wood Hammer to break through Clef, potentially depending on what kind of Clef it is. Giga Drain to deal with the Gastrodon. Since even with mid investment, Giga Drain could still do a ton to it and potentially knock it out. Then we have Ice Shard and Weather Ball. Ice Shard's there for the priority and also just hits incredibly hard since it's mostly invested into attack. And then Weather Ball just does a ton, which is already like doubled under the Hail. And then I have a Twist Scarf, Keldeo, which can actually like revenge kill his own Darm, and is also faster than the rest of his draft pretty much. So I was okay with bringing in bringing Keldeo. I kind of like had some second thoughts about bringing it with Rain as well, which would be even better. But I decided to just go against it and just make it like more of a Twist Scarf one that could just like kind of break through everything anyway. And then I have like a standard Blissey set. Then I have some physically offensive Cofagrigus with T-Spikes and Poltergeist. So I'd be able to actually like deal with something like Mew or deal with something like Clefable, again depending on what it is, and be able to just chunk those mons. So yeah, and then I have a defensive Grassy Seed, Reinforcements to take advantage of Rillaboom's Grassy Surge, and then I also have a Nasty Plot mixed Hydreigon, which could not only hit Clef but also hit Snorlax for a good chunk anyway. So yeah, without further ado, let's dive in. Also, I did not expect him to bring this kind of like squad here. Again, I was really expecting him to bring Gastrodon. Like Gastrodon would have just been perfect for him. But he decided to go with this, which I was very curious by. But let's see what happens. So here comes the Clef lead as I lead with my Keldeo. I can go for a flip turn here to get some chip on him. And now in comes the Blissey. So he's going to go for Cosmic Power. And I was just like, what? Just like, huh? Cosmic Power? What? I'm going to T-Wave this thing. So I T-Wave the Clef. Even though he is, like Magic Guard. But he can still get paralyzed anyway. So he's going to go +2 already. Or +3 already. And now it comes a +4 on the next toss as I do go for it. Actually, no, he softballs here, but then he goes for another one. I'm just like, okay, this is getting scary. This is getting kind of scary right now. You know what I'm saying? It's getting kind of scary. He's like at +4 right now, so I have to try and like chunk this as much as possible with toss, but he could just keep doing this. So I do this for a couple turns. I think like maybe like 2 more turns. Okay, so never mind. Switch out and go into the Reun as he goes for the softball again. I go for the Calm Mind here, just to try and like get enough like Calm Mind as possible. He's gonna go right into the Darm. As I go for another Calm Mind, expect him to stay in, but he chose not to do that, and he did bring in the Darm. So I was thinking, okay, he can't kill me with Blitz, he can't kill me with U-Turn, so I'm okay to just, Slash Talk this thing if need be. But he goes for the trick, and I was just like, no, my Grassy. So here comes I go for the recovery, but I'm locked in. So now I bring in my Cough as he goes for the Yui. So he's going to get chipped, or not really chipped. He's going to get the Mummy, but it doesn't really affect him. Here comes the Rillaboom, which is going to do a lot to me. So my last-ditch effort is to go for a T-Spike, as I know I can't take a hit from this Rillaboom. He goes for the knockoff, does a lot to me. And does remove my boots, but I am able to get up a T-Spike, though, which is going to help me a lot, because that's going to be able to deal with the Mew. That's going to be able to deal with the Frostmoth potentially, and also we get the Darm Poison and Rockster up as well. So that thing's going to die pretty fast. On the Lax, though, I have no idea if it's going to be like an immunity Lax or if it's going to be like a thick, fat Lax. But I do know that T-Spikes are actually very good right now. So with my Cough being dead, at least I still got those T-Spikes up. So I'm okay with Cough dropping here. So get it, Cough drop. Anyways, he's gonna knock out my Cough, and out comes the Ryun, who does not have a boost, but I am able to still take the hit, and I can go for the shot to the side shock, doing a lot to that. But now he can just knock me off here. Or just Yui again, which he does choose to do. So he does Yui, but he's going to get chipped by the Life Orb and such. And now in comes the Clef, who's not going to take any damage except for the side shock, which is a little bit, but like not a crazy amount. So now I have to bring in my Obama, as I can go for a nice and powerful Wood Hammer, as unfortunately got paralyzed. But now I can Woody here, and Woody's going to do a ton to that Clef. So unless he had Flamethrower, I was okay to just go for it again, and now I'm able to knock off the Clefable, and there it goes. So that is one threat out the way that I don't have to worry about anymore, but I still got a couple more left to go. Got to deal with the Rillaboom, got to deal with the Mew, depending on what kind of Mew it is, and I got to deal with the Frostmoth. The Frostmoth isn't too big of a threat, but still a QD Ice Beam is still going to do a lot. Like, Frostmoth has some really like insane special attack. Like when you look at it, you think it wouldn't have a lot of special attack, but man, that thing hits hard. That thing hits pretty hard. It could take special hits so well too. But yeah, with Clef being gone, I don't gotta worry about it, and that is fantastic for me. So now it comes to Darm, who I can't Ice Shard because I don't think Ice Shard would even kill. So I go into Ryun to just sack it here as he goes for the Blitz. So it's gonna get like chipped quite a bit from that plus poison. So now I know that Ice Shard can kill. I think Ice Shard could kill him here, but I decided to go into Keldeo instead and be safe and go for the flip turn and knock him out. So there goes the Darm, and now I bring in my Blissey as he goes into the Lax. So Lax is gonna get chipped, but he does not get poisoned, so he's immunity Lax. I go for the T-Wave here as he's gonna curse up. So now I'm really scared because I'm just like, oh boy, how do I deal with this thing? How do I deal with you? Like, dealing with this Lax was just a problem, man. It was such a problem because I literally had no idea how to break through this thing. Like, I do have my own Keldeo, but like it really can't break through it that well, so I have to just keep tossing just to see what else he does. And he already told me that his whole team is just all set up, so I was just like, oh boy. So I go for the toss, and he's gonna get that other curse up. So now I'm pretty much like, I'm accepting the fact that he has like rest curse on this set. So he is not gonna get it off though, but he is gonna get chipped by the sand or by the hail. But here comes a Weather Ball doing like no type of damage, and now he can rest here. So with him doing that, I was just like, okay, what the hell am I gonna do? What do I do now? Weather Ball did 19%. I can't hit this thing hard at all. So all I can do is just go for it again and just try and like keep chipping this as much as possible. I go for the Woody. Woody still does a lot though, even though he's at +2 defense. So it must mean that he was like a careful one, which means that he probably won't take 2 Secret Swords well at all. But I pretty much have to sack the Abomasnow here, so I sack it here. And he's still getting chipped, even though he did, like get rid of the go for the Chesto. And now he goes to the Mew for some reason. I don't know why he went Mew there. Maybe he thought I'd go for Focus Blast. I mean, Focus Blast would have been a good play, and it probably would have knocked him out. Judging by the way he played like that, but I unfortunately had Secret Sword, so Secret Sword probably wouldn't have knocked it out. But the Mew comes in here to scout for the Focus Blast, but instead I go for that. So I do 80% to the Mew, but it's not like a ton. And he's getting chipped by the poison as well. So now I go into Blissey as he goes for a Thunderbolt. So Thunderbolt's not going to do too much because my Blissey's just fat as hell. So now I go for the Keldeo, predicting him to go into the Lax. But he goes back. He just recovers here instead. So with the recovery, I go for the Flip Turn, and I go back into the Blissey. Or actually, I go Hydra on Psychic, which he does go for. He does go for the Psychic move. So I do scout for that. And now I can go for the Dark Pulse to open faster, which I am faster. So there goes the Mew. So Mew's dead. Frostmoth comes in, which I can't kill. So I have to go on the Blissey as he goes for the QD. So now what I have to do is just toss this down as much as possible. But he's not going to let that happen. He's going to go into the Lax instead as I go for the T-Wave. So I want to keep this thing T-Waved. Make sure it's paralyzed so I can bring in my Keldeo safely as he goes for the as he gets paralyzed there. So now goes the Lax. The Lax is dead. Now it's just 2 months left. The Rillaboom and the Moss. And the Moth. Now it comes my Hydreigon as he goes for the Grassy Glide, which is a ton. Like, it's insane how hard this mon hits. Like, this mon hits incredibly hard for no damn reason. Like, I don't get why this mon hits so hard for no reason. Like, it's insane. But luckily, my Hydreigon is able to live the hit by the bare minimum. by the bare minimum. It's able to live the grassy glide, and I'm able to kill him off with the dark pulse. And there goes or nasty plot actually. Sorry, nasty plot there. Okay. All right. A nasty plot there on the last one because I had a feeling that I could still live it. Granted, I don't think it was a roll there. I don't think it was a roll for him to kill me. I think the most it can do is like 46%, which is still a pretty like big. I mean, which could still be like pretty threatening. But I had a feeling that I could live at least one, so I was hoping I'd live at least one hit, and I do live it. So no crit, no nothing. And now I get my nasty plot off, which will be able to do a chunk to the Frostmoth, and he won't be able to really get his thing going. So I go for the flash cannon, but of course Frostmoth just lives, just eats the hit so well. But it's okay. It's okay because now I can bring in my Keldeo and I can kill this off with the Secret Sword since I'll be able to outspeed the Frostmoth, and that is going to be the game. So, whew, crazy game, man. Crazy game. So that is going to be the match for week 7, and that covers all the matches for the regular season. So yeah, now I don't really have a plan of how I want to do playoffs. I mean, I probably want to like give people like maybe like a 2-week window. But I will update the wins and losses right now. So they are now 3-4. The Farmington Alligators are 4-3 due to the forfeit, and now I am 5-2. And now the Phantoms are 4-3. So so it's looking like next week, or maybe like the week after next. Oh wait, I forgot about the Ludicolo. Okay, so then we have the Ludicolo, who are now 4-3. So okay, this is really weird. I gotta figure out how to do this. Okay, so we have the Ludicolo, we have the Phantoms, and then we have the Feraligators. So it's kind of like uneven at this point. I gotta figure out what to do about that. I guess. Okay. Okay, I think I figured it out. How I'm gonna do this. Shoot, man. See. I think. Alright. I've decided that it's just gonna be like one match a week to like finish off the playoffs. I know it's really bad, but I think that would make the most sense. So pretty much it'll just be like its own like little playoff thing, or its own like its own little like bracket, I guess. So the top 2 with the best wins, or with the best win rate, will probably go last. So it'll just be me and DNP going last. But I think what I'm gonna do is that I'll have the Phantoms and the Feraligators play first, and then whoever wins that match plays the Ludicolos. Dang, that's still gonna be weird. That's still gonna be really weird. Shoot, I didn't really prep this that well. I didn't really prep this that well because everything's kind of uneven. Like somebody's gonna be left behind. Huh. Shoot. Ooh, I made this. This is looking a little weird. I guess I'll figure it out. But for now, this is how the rankings are gonna go. I could just do like one more week, but that still doesn't feel right, honestly. But again, we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, though. If you guys did, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, join my Discord Bushido gang, and subscribe for some more content on the channel. Also, follow me on my Pokemino, and check out my Smokearm profile. All those links will be down in the description. So that does end the regular season. I will update you guys about the playoffs, and I'll let you know how things are going to be going. So that's going to be that. Be safe, wash your hands, and I will see you for the playoffs. Peace.